in race 1 at Shannonville Motorsport Park. It was a wet and wild affair. Pole sitter Brad Macrae aboard his Colron Excavating Yamaha R6 led for much of the second half of the race before disaster struck on the last lap.
Such a disappointment for Brad Macrae,
ending his hopes for his first ever victory. But Macrae's loss ended up being Connor Campbell's gain. His B&T MacFarlane Kubota Kawasaki crossed the line first, giving him the victory. Today will be a different story in the drive. The lap times will be faster and the racing will be closer. Race 2 in the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike Championship is next. Hello everyone and welcome to Race 2 of the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike Championships for 2023. We're at Shannonville Motorsport Park standing alongside Michael Leon. And Michael, this is a much different day than we experienced yesterday.
big sigh of relief from everyone involved. We're going to get to race in the dry today at Shannonville Motorsport Park on the Pro Track.
Well, the indications were, Mike, that on a dry track we'd have much closer racing, but yesterday was very close racing. I hugely enjoyed it.
It was exciting racing, close, a brand new winner. We had some spectacular crashes as well, unfortunately. And here's our starting grid for the race.
So McRae, Brad Macrae, who had pole position, ended up on his backside at trackside yesterday, has got a chance to redeem himself on this day.
We have Oliveira on the grid, but he is not starting this race. He's out with technical problems with his brand new Ducati, unfortunately for him.
That's a shame. We were really looking forward to that. McKay, of course, has some ground to make up as well. He's still on his B-bike, so it should be very, very interesting indeed to see how this race 2 pans out. And the three riders on the back row there, of course, are in the new Bickle Racing Pro Twins division. We looked at the apex lights. The lights come off so fast. Not quite used to them just yet, but somebody is, and it looks like it's Lang. I believe it is Lang, the Kawasaki rider who has come in all the way from Calgary, Alberta, competing here, and he's making up for his big mistake yesterday. Mike, yesterday he ended up in the fence at turn 1 right off the very start in the rain. But today we have a dry day, and Lang is leading.
Hard to believe it is only his second year of competition, his first trip here to Shannonville Motorsport Park from out west. The Willie Vass tuned Kawasaki leading the field, and also his first experience on Bridgestones this weekend.
Matt Simpson running in second spot. Connor Campbell is in third. Brad Macrae is in fourth. They're spreading out on the back straightaway. And guess what? We do have some very close racing right from this lap number 1. Now, but Simpson has taken the race lead. He holds off Lang going into turn number 11. Lang is staying right with him, though.
Connor Campbell following in third place with Brad Macrae behind him. Macrae looking for some redemption after crashing out of the lead yesterday.
Simpson looks great going in there. He had the back wheel of that motorcycle, the Bridgestone slick on the back, waving around in the air as he had those front brakes on, almost as though the rotors would be glowing.
We have a Kawasaki sandwich here, a Yamaha in first, Kawasaki, and a Yamaha in fourth.
And we have Playford on the number 94 machine. He is Ducati mounted. Now, you may remember, Mike, yesterday he took the Honda out in competition, ended up retiring early. This day he's on the Duke.
And I've noticed we have Rafa in ninth, who's also on a Ducati. Oh, we got a change of position here. Macrae just moved up to third.
Yeah, and another change there now as McKay and Souza having a battle at it. So McKay moves up in the 6th spot.
McKay trying to work his way forward. He finished.
Souza having a look at him, though.
McKay finished 4th yesterday, which was a great points grab after a really struggle-filled weekend for he and his team.
Look at Matt Simpson, man. He is absolutely on fire. He's got the riding crops out now, beating on that pony's backside. As through 11, he goes right to the very edge of the racetrack. And maybe a little bit too much effort there, Mike. Your comments?
You know, if the racetrack is there and it's safe to use, you use all of it if you can. You know, if it helps.
Oh, see that? Beauty. Coming out of Allen's corner, he lifts the front wheel, carries it for, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 feet. definitely in control of this one. McRae, meanwhile, in third spot, hoping to make up for that disastrous crash yesterday. And Connor Campbell, he's still got a bit of a fire burning in him, having scored his first national championship win yesterday in round one of the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike Championships, and becoming the first-time winner for 2023. We'll see how that plays out.
He's running in fourth place. He's on his A bike. Back on his A bike. He was on that bike this first time this morning. He was the fastest in practice this morning, and seems like he may be losing touch with a shot at the podium here, unfortunately.
McRae now moving up on Lang. I'm surprised that he hasn't stayed in Lang's wheel tracks and get a bit of a pull from that soft air going down the back straightaway, but he has nonetheless made the pass as he goes into turn number 11. And Lang, to his credit, is staying right with him. He may be going to school, Mike.
You got to think there for a moment. Brad Macrae going through that corner at the end off the back street. Probably.
Oh, Lang's on the move now. He's right up alongside McRae. Beautiful move. He has stolen it, taken it right out of his back pocket. Beautiful move by Lang, capturing second spot.
That's the classic Allen's Corner pass here at Shannonville, which is remarkable. His first trip to Shannonville, he's already learned that.
Wow, and this is great stuff. Fans, we will be right back. Don't go away. The 2023 Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike Championship is brought to you in part by Joe Rocket, Economy Lube and Tire, and Scorpion EXO. Closed captioning for the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike Championship is brought to you by MotorcycleCourse.com, Apex Cycle, Supersonic Road Race School, and EBC. We are back at Shannonville Motorsport Park, and now we're working lap 5 of 18, and McRae has been able to get past Lang and move into second spot, and now it seems as though he has set his sights on the race leader, and that, of course, Matt Simpson. Michael?
We're going to see the replay of Brad Macrae passing Lang on the back straight using the power of that Scott Cartier built R6 to get past on the straightaway.
I think Lang left the door open for a Mike. I was watching the footage there, and Lang went almost up on the turtles and left a lot of room for McRae to get by. Now, McRae has taken full advantage of that, and he's now starting to whittle away at the distance between himself and Simpson. Meanwhile, McKay has moved up into fourth place. This is redemption from yesterday.
That is a very important position for him to make up. He's got to maximize the points this round to have a shot by the end of the season. Obviously his goal is to win the championship, and it's important for him to move up. Redemption for a difficult weekend so far.
Playford on the Ducati, running in sixth spot now, with Souza in behind him in seventh spot. Then Louis Rafa on the Ducati, and then Frast and Michel rounding out your top 10 just now.
Michel in his rookie pro season here, which is a nice result here. Well, not result, but nice running order for him to be in 10th.
I'm not familiar with Frast. I think this may be his first pro season with CSBK. I know he runs down the SOAR series.
He's a local SOAR rider, trying his feet in the Nationals, and the next event will be at his home track.
Meanwhile, up front, it is Simpson. I can almost see the smirk on his face. He's thinking back to Mosport, and he's thinking back to how good that felt to win his first race. And why not do it again now in 2023? Matt Simpson on the 91 bike. There's Playford on the 94, chasing after Connor Campbell on the 814 machine. And Campbell not quite the same pace as we saw from that young man yesterday.
The riders are starting to spread out a little now. We've got a couple of clusters of riders who are going to be vying for position, respectively, in their running order here. Fastest lap of a 109, which is a little bit slower than our qualifying time of 107.7 set by McRae on Friday.
And Lang holding on to third spot, but McKay is coming. McKay has got Lang now in his sights, and I think he's got an idea here. I think McKay has an idea. He wants to head up and try to get a podium position and truly make up for the disaster that was yesterday. Meanwhile, up front, the distance between Simpson and McRae has evaporated. McRae is there, less than a bike length. Coming on the front straight, he's got him. Yeah. McRae on the back straightaway. He got him on the inside of turn number 11. And Michael, your analysis.
That was a case of Simpson just making an error on the exit, messing up the drive horribly out of the hairpin, and McRae was just able to maximize that. And you can see the distance he's already made. Here we go, McRae. Simpson going a little bit wide. It looked like he almost had a problem with the shifter or the foot peg. His foot might have fallen off.
He's tap dancing on it.
You see him even look over his shoulder before he got back on the racing line to make sure no one else was coming through.
That left foot still moving as he went out of sight on the Fabi straightaway. We're looking at Brad Macrae now on the number 17 machine onto the front straightaway. Full gallery, all the fans here today, Mike. What a great turnout. Great weather, great turnout at this what is turning out to be a heck of a good race.
I just want to point out McRae's a local rider. He's from the Kingston area, and you know, now he has what he wanted to see, clear track in front of him, and hopefully try to match that pace that he did in qualifying, and just, you know, throughout the last half of the race, pull out the lead even further.
I'm missing Coelho. I'm really missing Coelho. He had such a great ride yesterday. I was truly hoping that he might repeat that on this day.
Coelho's back in 11th place, Frank. He's battling with Michel to try to work his way into the top 10 on that Kawasaki, the Muay Thai sponsored machine that he rode yesterday to a second place in the rain.
And hopefully that Montreal rider can make his way back up the grid. Meanwhile, we're watching our race leader, and he is picture perfect, Mike. I don't know if you watched him closely going through 11 there, but he used every bit of asphalt available. And as we continue to watch the second race of the 2023 Liqui Moly Sport Bike Championships, hang in, fans. We'll be right back. We are back, and we are watching some action here, Michael, between the rider from Alberta, we're talking about John Lang, and David Macrae, the rider who was touted as being the champion for 2023, and he has got his hands full of a rider that's never ridden on this racetrack before. Yeah, we've got kind of the extremes here. We've got this rider from way far out west, thousands of kilometers away, here for his first trip. New to the series, new to the track, new to the tires, battling against Macrae, who's been racing in this. Oh man, he almost ran into the back end of him. Macrae was right on him. That
was pretty close. I was going to say, Macrae, who has a lot of experience at this track, he finished second here in 2019 and coming, you know, through a difficult weekend, and obviously making his way forward, battling for third now.
Battling for third indeed, Macrae in fourth spot, and he is doing exactly what he wants to be doing, and that is following in wheel tracks. Now he pulls out of the soft air, but he has not enough momentum, Mike, to make the pass.
Yeah, it's hard to pass late onto the brakes there, because if you turn in too early on the brakes, you run out of real estate on the way out. So you really have to make the pass kind of a little earlier before you apply the brakes too much.
If you look upon this as being a battle between tuners, we got Willie Vass's motorcycle going against Scott Miller. So two of the top tuners in Canada. Macrae looks to the inside and one. Can he get it done? Oh, not quite.
Macrae has a bit of margin here. He looks like he's very comfortable, but he just doesn't have that enough margin to comfortably make the pass. But I think we may see him challenge again very shortly.
Well, Lang knows full well that he's there. Now, will the rookie buckle under the pressure of the established pros, what we're looking at right now? Macrae on Lang into the hairpin. Yeah, let's see what they do on this run down the Fabi Straight.
See if Macrae can get a better drive than him. And it looks like he's using a little bit of the draft, pulling out early.
I'm sure
we might see the pass happen in here, Frank.
I'm sure he is. Looks like, yes, he is right alongside him. Look at this. They mirror one another for a moment as they bank over into the corner. And Macrae has shunted the Western rider back into fourth spot. Meanwhile, Souza has moved up into fifth. Playford on the Ducati holding on to sixth. And Connor Campbell, yesterday's winner, running in seventh spot.
And you can see going into the chicane there, Lang thought about trying to retaliate early, but he didn't have enough room, and it kind of cost him a little bit. It cost him drive out of the chicane, and now he's falling a little further back.
Well, for a rider with not a lot of saddle time relative to his competition, he's doing a splendid job. And now Macrae right alongside them.
We see this textbook pass back straight to Shannonville. This is the way you do it.
And Lang very wisely. There's Jeff Williams on the Aprilia. He is leading the Bickle Racing Twins class, new to the series this year. They run with the sport bikes, as we know.
another local rider. We have Jeff Williams leading in the twins class. We have Brad Macrae leading in the sport bike class, and they grew up together. Actually, Jeff Williams used to babysit Macrae, which is hard to believe because
a true story?
That is a true story, and I can't believe that somebody trusted Jeff Williams enough to let them babysit their child, but hey.
Well, McKay has made Lang a distant image now in his rear view mirror. I know they don't have mirrors, but McKay has really established a gap between himself and Lang. And as much as I like McKay and what have you, I was kind of hoping that Lang might have a chance at a podium, and indeed he may well yet. Marco Souza lifting up the back wheel of that motorcycle as they go through Allen's corner, and of course Connor Campbell was there reaping it all in, and no doubt he's going to do a bit of schooling as well. Souza, a veteran of many years competition, and did extremely well in the Super Series here, and he also took the Brooklyn Cycle Racing Rookie of the Year award when he was at his prime, and Campbell would do well to stay right with him. And as we watch Marco Souza holding on the 5th spot, incidentally, Mike, the only rider on a Suzuki in this field. We'll be back with more sport bike action here on TSN. The 2023 Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike Championship is brought to you in part by Joe Rocket, Economy Lube and Tire, and Scorpion EXO. Welcome back. We're working lap 14 of 18, so getting down to the end of this race, and we're watching the battle between veteran Marco Souza and the upstart Connor Campbell. Campbell scoring his first national championship win yesterday, as we've mentioned, and Souza with a ton of experience around this place.
Campbell had really high hopes for today. He was fastest this morning and got back on his A bike, and we can see him here chasing Souza, who is, as you said,
Campbell's.
Oh no!
Oh, he's slowing down. Oh no! No! Don't say.
That's
Connor Campbell. It looks like we have a DNF, and that is a damn shame.
The highs and lows, Frank. This sport can be really cruel. Win one day, have your best result, and then have a mechanical problem the next day.
You can see the body language there. He is so disappointed. CRCA officials making sure they get that motorcycle in behind the stands as we watch Brad Macrae now with the race lead. He picks up the front wheel and carries it for quite some distance down the front straightaway.
I would say Frankie looks pretty comfortable, and we don't have anybody challenging him.
No,
so
Simpson's not even within sight.
I'm looking through the running order, and I don't see Playford there anymore either, which is disappointing because he was as high as 5th place, which was would have been a good result for him as on his pro debut on the Ducati. And Rafa's the leading Ducati in 9th, which is, if you're a Ducati fan, not what you'd be hoping for. When they changed the rules this year to allow the Ducati V-twin into this class, many people were expecting it to just be a runaway winner, and racing doesn't work that way. It's a cruel sport. Some things don't go your way, and it's going to take some rounds, obviously, to get that machine sorted out. We have Vieira missing, now we have Playford missing, and Rafa obviously was hoping for better than 9th.
Let's head down to our Bridgestone pit reporter, Hannah Streak. She has more on Brad Macrae.
Thanks, guys. Brad Macrae aboard his Colron Excavating Yamaha was battling Connor Campbell in the last few laps of race 1. Macrae says he didn't see the last lap flag or his pit board that showed that he was 3 seconds clear of Campbell, which resulted in him continuing to push and battle, thinking he was fighting for the lead. And unfortunately, he went down with less than a half lap to go. Macrae is saying he's feeling better today in these drier conditions, and currently he's leading the race. Back to you guys.
Thank you for that, Hannah, and you're absolutely right. Brad Macrae is leading this race, and Michael, he's leading it rather by a ton.
2 laps to go, and I'm sure at this point in the race he's probably a little bit stressed after having crashed out of the lead yesterday. Hopefully for Brad and his team and all of his sponsors, he'll pull it off, and we will have yet again another new winner in this series, Frank.
And Macrae coming up on a couple of our Pickle Racing Pro twin racers, most notably Hans van Sluwen, who's the eldest rider on our grid, and Andrew Van Winkle, the Western rider in the number 40. Oh, beautiful pass there by Macrae, and now he'll hook up with Van Winkle, the young lad who's come all the way in from Chilliwack, British Columbia. He's a minor. His dad has to do all the writing and signing and what have you, and I'm sure he's paying most of the bills. And now Macrae has gotten past him. But look at Van Winkle staying with him. This kid is smart. That kid's gone to school for a couple of corners.
It's amazing to see this influx of Western riders joining the series. It's really good news for all of us to, make it a truly national championship.
Yeah, with Lang coming in from Calgary and Van Winkle, of course, from Chilliwack, as we mentioned. And there'll be more to follow once they see this footage. We're watching our race leader now, McRae, as he's onto the back straightaway on that number 17 Yamaha. And no traffic to speak of in front of him. He's got a clear field. Let's hope that he keeps it all. There's Gosselin now that's just gone past the camera. That is our 10th place rider. So Brad Macrae getting close to lapping up into the top 10.
And these solo laps by yourself when you're leading can sometimes be more stressful than when you're in a battle, because you have time to think about all the things that could go wrong, and it can be very stressful.
Yeah. You start to hear things. You start to hear these noises underneath you that could get expensive or hurt you, maybe. Yeah, nerves are running high. And, of course, he's desperate that he wants to not repeat what he did yesterday on the final lap. And we are on the final lap. Now we're looking back for Brad Macrae's motorcycle. This is awesome stuff. Love this footage when we were right with the riders. And here he comes up on Gosselin. Looks like he slowed up a bit.
Well, and Frank, if it was me, I'd be kind of easing it off too. He has quite the lead. His pit board would have been telling him that, so he's just got to go through the motions, get safely through the last couple of corners, and to his first victory.
And let's hope that he saw the pit board, because as Hannah pointed out, that's something that worked against him yesterday, was not seeing where he was on the racetrack and making an error.
After having missed it yesterday, I'm sure he was looking forward each and every lap today.
But there again, you see that same line. I talked about running on dimes. He's been on that exact same line going through turn 11 each and every time. The first time I saw him do it, I thought he was too close to the edge of the racetrack, but it sure as heck is working on his behalf. The final corner now awaits. It's a long right-hander that takes us out onto the front straightaway here at Shannonville Motorsport Park, and Brad Macrae has scored a national championship win. We start the 2023 season with 2 first-time winners after ending the 22 season with 5 first-time winners. So, wow.
And McRae takes the Colron Excavating Unique Cycle Crown Collision Yamaha R6 to his first victory.
And Matt Simpson brings it home in second spot. A good ride for him. And in third spot, after fighting back from 12th position, David McKay.
The standout for me is Lang in fourth, coming back from a crash yesterday. First trip to Shannonville, amazing result in his rookie pro season. And Alex Coelho fought his way back to 6th place, which is also a good finish.
And recognize the Bickle Racing Pro Twins class, Williams, Van Winkle, and then Van Sluwen. Let's go down and check in with our Bridgestone pit reporter, Hannah Streak. She has Brad Macrae.
Brad, all the hard work has finally paid off. Congratulations on your win. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was nice to finish off with a win at the end of the weekend. Yesterday was a pretty tough one. First time in the rain. Felt great, actually, with the Bridgestones, but, yeah, threw it away with 3 corners left. So, yeah, it was nice to come out with some points, and, yeah, looking forward to Grand Bend.
Round 1 is now in the books. Matt Simpson leading the points. Brad Macrae sitting in second spot. Alex Coelho in third. So a very close battle at the top as we get ready to head down to Grand Bend for round 2. The craziness continues in the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike class as we have yet another first-time winner in Brad Macrae. On behalf of the entire CSBK crew, thank you so much for being with us. Look forward to seeing you next time.